Larry, historically, when there have been protests, as we've been seeing since the whole immigration dust-up and separating kids from their parents, the protesters reach a feverish pitch. Of course, it's now gotten so nasty. They're going after cabinet officials in restaurants and kicking Sarah Sanders out of one. Where does this go? Historically, this bad blood, this bad will, where does it go?
Well, we hope it never gets as bad as it was in the late 60s, Johnson's Vietnam policy, the riots in the cities, and then, of course, Vietnam again under Nixon, and finally Watergate, when things really got nasty. And honestly, a lot of us, I think in 1968 in particular, wondered if the country was just falling apart. It seemed that way. We're nowhere near there. Let's hope we never get there. And one way to not get there is to get everybody to sign on to a statement that we can word right here and now. I'll let Ben word it. I'll go along with Ben. And the statement should say, no more name calling, no more insults, no more asking people to leave restaurants or theaters. In other words, return to the kind of civility that our parents taught us to practice. And that's from the president on down. That's everybody.
What an idiotic idea. Well, all right, I'm kidding. But you raise a good thing. That you hope cooler, more rational, just more decent human beings prevail. But Ben Stein, it just follows an escalation. I mean, where we're accosting people outside their homes, in restaurants. The president just today threatening Harley Davidson. And that was just on a matter of I might go after them with taxes. But it all plays this same theme. It's weird.
People are more juvenile than ever. People are more infantile than ever. When I lived during Watergate, I lived just down the street from H.R. Bob Haldeman, who was a big, big player in the Watergate scandal. And there were never protesters outside his house. There was always a news crew outside his house, but never protesters. There were never protesters anywhere. I worked for Nixon. I did work on Watergate, and nobody ever bothered me about it one bit. I had wonderful friends who were Democrats. My wife was a Democrat.
Yeah, but now we have the internet. It's easy to find that stuff, right?
You know something? You're totally right. The internet is like a bad boy recess where everybody can go out on the recess yard and tease everybody else and be mean to everybody else. I myself stay away from the internet for social media. I've never been on Twitter. I don't even know how Twitter works. I don't intend to ever go on Twitter. I like to stick to just more solid arguments. And by the way, to stick with more solid arguments, it is a disgrace to humanity that poor woman, Miss Sanders, Huckabee Sanders, was chased out of that restaurant. I know that restaurant. I've been to it. It's not a very good restaurant, in my humble opinion. She made a mistake to eat there in the first place.
You know, Larry, you could look at that. You could look at that and just say, I think even Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi said, that's going too far. Elijah Cummings going too far. So I admired all of them coming out to say, cool it on that. But will people cool it on both sides?
Well, you have to do that a lot. You have to do it every day or every week or every month, and you have to do it on both sides. There's a clear bipartisan objective that everybody in the system ought to have, to be more civil, to treat people well as you would like to be treated. Some religious connotations there, yes. Why not? It's something that we could do to help bring people together. And my God, Ben is right about Twitter. I'm on Twitter. We're supposed to do some social media here at the University of Virginia. Increasingly, I hate Twitter. I hope the people who are organizing Twitter hear that. It is one of the nastiest places on earth, and it brings out the very worst in people.
All right, can we cancel that Twitter sponsorship, guys? I want to thank you both very, very much.
Ben and I will sponsor. Ben and I will sponsor, Neil. We'll throw in together.
Yes, we will sponsor.
Okay. Well, it's a beautiful college, Professor. Keep at it. I know driving by it was stunning. So good to have both of you. They really are like an economic, political Avengers team.